Good day from Sydney, Australia, everybody, and welcome to our newest subscribers. We're pleased you've returned or just joined us for another exciting week of technical analysis. Man, I need to find more to do. Anyways, for this week, we've got a bit of a surprise, a volatility indicator that fits nicely in with the volume type indicators and the last step of your algorithm. We know finding these are a challenge, so when we get something interesting, we're grabbing on with both hands. The data stream was straightforward for us this week. We made a couple of changes to color and thickness and added a line, which we'll explain shortly, but we left settings just as they're given to us right out of the box. So this week we're going to take a look at a below chart, single level cross, volatility indicator. When we first saw this name come across our screen, we immediately chuckled at the thought of stiff walking zombies, or maybe teachers with zero sense of humor, and a few other references that we're not getting into. Okay, let's get back to the task. So, this indicator is called the Stiffness indicator and was dreamt up by a pretty neat guy named Marcos Katsanos. I was fortunate enough to have an email dialogue with the man earlier this summer, and he was nothing short of a scholar and a gentleman. This concept was introduced in the November 2018 Stocks and Commodities magazine and coded for MT4 the same year. As noted, we left the default settings and just made a few color changes. We also added our threshold level because that's how volume and volatility indicators work. For a much more detailed explanation, check out the blog, but we do make the necessary editorial comments here, so you should be able to pick it up fairly quickly. Here we go. Ready? Steady? Let's go pip hunting. We'll stop here at this fresh baseline cross. Unfortunately, the signal line is below our threshold line, which you'll soon see, so there is no valid signal to get into a trade. We'll let it run a little further. Alright, we've got our first legit long signal. Notice that the blue signal line is above our red threshold line. That's a valid prompt to start our analysis. Very nicely done on that trade. A nice smooth ride up. Since we're not actually using the baseline or the indicator for exits, we'll just mark off the trades as we get new signals. So that being the case, we've got our first short. Let's see how it goes. We'll take it. It continued to move nicely for us, and we're now set up for another long trade. Well, that didn't work out for us on that price reversal. No matter, mark it up in your journal and let's see where this short takes us. Yuck, that was just ugly. Well anyways, mark it up and let's move on to the next long trade. It appears that the market is a bit jumpy at the moment. Mark the trade, lean into your charts, and press on. The volatility continues. Messy hair, don't care. We're going to continue doing what we do. Make your journal notations and continue. And there we have the good stuff. All those shenanigans are in the past as we pull in those pips. Nicely done. Now we're set up for a short trade. Another nice trade. Perhaps a quick trip to warm sands, cool waves, and cold drinks? Not us. We're too busy working. Let's see what this long can do. Okay, we got a reversal, so now we're looking at a short trade, but notice that the stiffness signal line is getting pretty close to our threshold line. Let's take a look at the close-up of the next trade because it's going to illustrate a lesson that you need to be aware of. We went back to the chart and pulled up the data window to verify that the signal line is above 75. It looks like that we're good to go, so we'll consider that a valid signal. That didn't work out for us, but we have a new long signal and we'll look down to see if we have a valid trade condition. So we do the same thing. We call up our data window to verify where the signal line is in relation to the threshold line. In this instance, it's the same as the threshold line, which means that it is not a valid trade condition. The signal line must be above it numerically to validate the trade condition, so we don't open the trade. Here we've got a short, but the threshold value doesn't work for us, so no trade. And we've got more signals and still no trades. So to recap the last four trade signals, the indicator was the same value as the threshold level, meaning that none of these were valid trades. Stick to your guns and follow the rules. It will pay for itself in the long run. We've got a fresh long signal and look down to see that our signal line is above the threshold. That's a valid entry. And we're out and back into a short trade. And we've got us a nice run to the downside with a new long signal. So we look down and notice what? Pause for effect. Yes, friends, that signal line is below the threshold line, so we don't take the trade. We'll let the last few seconds run out. Watch them and think about what you would do on the subsequent trade signals. Okay then, did you think we had enough stiffness in this week's analysis? Could it be more stiff, or should we relax a bit? That's for you to find out when you download this indicator and play with it on your own. Remember, we had to use a baseline to give us trade signals, but when you apply it to your algorithm, your results should be somewhat different once you follow the Boolean logic to what we hope will be profitable trades. It's available at the Stonehill Forex Indicator library at no cost. Download it and give it a go. Don't forget you'll need to add the threshold level. Just as Captain James Tiberius Kirk is so dramatically telling someone that he is not wearing a toupee, we can't offer financial advice. Besides, you're here watching these videos, which means you've got the motivation and conviction to shape your own future. Once you've consumed the video and blog, click on over to the Stonehill Forex website and find out what we've got. With many helpful resources, a killer deal with Blueberry Markets, and of course the advanced course. Sign up for the monthly digest and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great content. Our only goal is to make you a better trader.